This is for the people.
Live from the Marsh Theater in San Francisco. It's the Will and Willie Show, and I'm Paul Wells.
I'm Will Durst.
And I'm Willie the Brown.
And this show is the third in our series of 5 monthly 2016 election specials. We're almost at the midway point, and the next 2 will be in the Marsh Theater October 11th and then November 1st. And
Yeah.
every Tuesday night, you're here through Election Day.
Right. And
Including
tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a great show.
It is. It's even better now. Than what you saw. You saw the opening night.
Though.
Yeah.
The material,
Oh
you
my
don't even
God.
have to. You don't have to make anything up anymore.
Every week.
I mean, it's
can't make
unbelievable.
this up.
Every week. The hard part is trying to figure out where it goes. I wrote this joke. Trump said that he always wanted a Purple Heart. Does he even know what that means? That means he either wanted to be wounded or killed. And he's not alone. And I have nowhere to put it in my act. I don't know. I can't find a spot for it. I have orphan lines.
Well, it's interesting when he said that. Most people thought he was speaking from the perspective of patriotism. They had no idea that he might have meant it.
How can he win?
Maybe Putin will send him a Purple Heart.
No, he and Putin, obviously, I got to assume that there is something about his business transactions with multiple countries around the world that may, in fact, be a part of why he's not revealing his tax returns. And can you imagine if I just saw a movie in which 2 young guys out of Florida were financing.
War Dogs.
Yeah.
How is it?
It was fun.
Yeah?
Frankly, because I thought it was a documentary.
It was based on a real story, they said.
Yeah.
They said. You never know.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything in the movie is now based on
Yeah.
a true story. Are you kidding me? But these guys were supplying arms, and they were arms for operators who were outside of the usual perspective.
NGOs.
Is that what they call them?
Non-government organizations.
Yeah, well, they were doing it right, and they were being paid in cash. Oh, yeah.
Where do you put all that cash?
Well, they put it in a duffel bag. And run it back here with them. And then they were it was like, one of the guys, though, was totally completely a crook. And
Don't ruin it. I don't get to see it.
As opposed to a
But it's a red box.
You
It's not even it's not even on demand. It's red box.
no, it's good, though.
Red box
It really
is only
is good.
$1.50.
Yeah.
Used to be $1.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
if you go early enough.
Yeah, well, sometimes they give you discounts. Sometimes you get would you like another movie for 50 cents? Yes. Yes. Even if I don't watch it.
You go even earlier than that.
Oh, yeah?
And the brothers, if there's a brother working
yeah.
you're his guest.
But then you get it for $1, and then halfway through the film, somebody gets up from the 3rd row and walks across the screen, or it's dubbed in Russian. I've had those. Yeah.
Spasibo.
Yeah.
But War Dogs, you got to see it, because it gives a perspective on how the U.S. government and other nations are operating, where they want no trace of the arms that they have supplied to the rebels or whoever is doing their special activities. And in this case, only one part of it I can tell you about, because I won't ruin it for you. They wanted handguns, and they specifically wanted Berettas, which means the Italians. And the Italians had decided, the government had decided, there'd be no movement of guns from their country. But obviously there was movement of guns from their country. And they were moved to Afghanistan. And they could not deal with anybody over there who spoke English, except some kid who apparently was a translator for everybody. And he must have been 10, 11.
Yeah.
Cute little kid. And I guess it was the way Trump started.
I almost spit
It was the
coffee
art
all
of the
over your
deal.
beautiful pants.
It was the art.
It was the art of the deal.
It was the art of the deal.
Here on the Will and Willie Show,
That's
for
why it's worth seeing. Look at
the benefit of those who actually on camera hold it up to the camera, our
that?
friend Lee Housekeeper brought this with him today. It's the newest edition. If you get your news from the checkout stand, it's the National Enquirer, revealed at last. Hillary's full medical file. And it shows a picture of her that's obviously photoshopped. No, that's what she looks like without the makeup, dude. You know, and then it says 3 strokes, Alzheimer's, liver damage from booze, violent rages. I guess that's how Vince Foster died then. It was a violent rage.
One of those violent rages.
Yeah. So,
Well, this is the first time, though, that we, I think, have had heavy-duty emphasis on the health of candidate. Candidate in 2008, John McLean had
Right.
cancers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Had skin cancers, or some other similar kind of thing. 1960, Kennedy was accused of having some disease.
Which he did.
Well,
Yeah.
he never admitted it.
No.
He never acknowledged it. But it was never a decisive factor. This time, I think the issue of health is potentially more decisive because it's a woman whose health is being addressed.
Exactly.
And that's different. Dudes just think, dudes' health, they're indestructible. Don't worry about them. They could already be in the casket and they would be okay. But a woman has got to be perfect in every way. And Hillary is going to suffer from that doubt, period, about her health and about everything else. Trump, on the other hand, Bloomberg said it right.
Yeah, Bloomberg said that we have to vote for Hillary because she's not insane.
That's what he said.
not responsible. Park and lock it.
She's not insane. We've lowered the bar extremely this time around. We might even not get over that bar.
What do you think Hillary should be doing now, though? She's obviously she has a medical problem with reference to pneumonia, which has been acknowledged, and the debate is 2 weeks away, so 12, 13, 15.
I agree with you. I think
Closer
she
a
should
week
just-
away when the show runs on the air.
She should just go to bed and wake up 2 days before the debate.
Well,
Seriously, I mean, let Trump, rail and put his foot in his mouth and.
I was discussing with the Lee housekeeper earlier today.
That
We were
guy.
talking about, it's like a football team. If you're the quarterback and you got hit, or you did something with the football, cost you 4 games like Brady, there are backups. And Hillary's got one hell of a collection of
backups, yeah.
Yeah, and she ought to roll those backups out there full time. And she could start, obviously, with Biden. He seems to speak kind of the same language as Trump. And he seems
Is there a contingency in case she does go down?
No.
There's nothing?
No, nothing. I've been watching that closely because
Well, it's a private organization. I mean, everybody thinks that the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, they're part of the government. No, they're private organizations.
and they can do anything they want to do.
Yeah. So they don't have to have another convention.
No,
They don't have to.
No, not at all. They
could have
anybody in.
They could have 3 guys say, "We're going to nominate Willie Brown as
You're
our
out for the
presidential
season.
candidate."
All right, I'd vote for
if
that.
Hillary is out for the season.
Yeah.
There's always the possibility of moving somebody else in, and she's got a long bench though.
What about Matt Cain? Are they going to bring in Matt Cain?
Yeah,
Matt Cain, yeah.
No, he's hurt.
The closer.
You don't want anybody who's already injured.
Well, they already got
You want-
Tim Kaine, so
Yeah.
I figured they get Matt Cain. The other side has Hunter Pence, so it's Pence versus Cain. You got the right fielder versus the pitcher.
We've just descended to where we were yesterday at AT&T. Oh, this crowd's a little more lively than the CEOs. as nice as they were, and as appreciative, but we did a little shortened version of the Will and Willie show yesterday at AT&T Park in the executive suite, which is very nice. And then Willie Brown, you had, of course, like your calendar is always full, so you were out the door, but we went into Triple's Alley where they had a spread, which was delicious food on the inside, and you didn't have to pay $8 for a hot dog or $15 for a beer, and
Or $26 for a burger.
yeah, $28 for parking, by the way. 38, right? $38 in Lot
You
A.
guys got parking for that?
They're gonna have to reinvert
I saw
the
a
surface.
kid, and I know it wasn't his driveway. He was holding up a sign, $100. Parking somebody's driveway, which is kind of what we used to do up in the 8. When I lived in the 8 on Masonic.
Yeah, when
And the football
Keysar-
game was at Keysar.
Niner games, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I sold everybody's driveway. On the block.
He was working his way through school, selling parking spots. No, I think Hillary's going to recover, but what I think the problem that is perception, and this not liking Hillary is stronger than liking Trump. There are people willing to vote for Trump because they don't like Hillary, but they can't quite put their
But
finger on it.
Paul, you got to know, Trump has his vote. He cannot get one additional vote. He's got it. He's got his 41, 42% or whatever it is. His job and the thrust of his campaign now is to continuously discredit Hillary. And that's what...
To depress the
hold him-
turnout?
That is exactly right. At one time, the Republicans in New Jersey gave money to people not to go vote.
Wow.
Guys, it was amazing too because they ran out of money. The guys got smart. Those
They got
black
back
guys-
in line.
That's right.
But in New Jersey, it was like, listen, we wouldn't want nothing bad to happen to you, so really, maybe you don't want to vote. I hear it's going to be hot. But if Hillary had just, on Friday, when they had the diagnosis that she had pneumonia, just immediately put it out there and said, I'm going to be at the 9/11 thing on Sunday, and then I'm going to need to take a few days off because I have walking pneumonia, but I'm not going to shirk from being there in honor of those who lost their lives 15 years ago, then she would have had a free pass if she had to be helped to the van at the end, which
But you got to
obviously
understand,
did.
she did not anticipate anyone ever knowing that she had the problem. And until she acted, as I sometimes act after an interesting night, with lots of
St.
liquid.
Vitus dance.
Yeah, with lots of liquid, trying to find my way just to the bathroom. It gets to be a
I
little
have been
difficult.
there, my brother.
It gets a little difficult, and so she didn't
Been a while.
realize that might happen, and particularly with that sunshine that was
Yeah, it was hot.
With a
beaming down on
bulletproof
her.
vest on,
Although she had
underneath a
absolutely, and she had on the
tight
dark
collar.
glasses. She looked exquisite, until, and I got to tell you though, the 2-week outside you're talking about of doing nothing except getting healthy. Just think of how she could do that. She could call up. What's the speaker's name? The ex-speaker. What was his name?
Gingrich?
No.
Boehner?
Boehner.
Boehner.
That cat stayed my color. And just think, she could find out who his color supplier was.
Oh, he's more orange
Show
than
up
Trump.
in 2 weeks. Yes, she could show up in 2 weeks with
Oranger than
looking,
Trump,
Yeah,
yeah.
looking good. I mean, looking good, and it would look like she'd been on vacation in Florida at Key Largo. Is that where his place is, or wherever?
Yeah. Mar-a-Lago,
Yeah, and it would be fabulous. She would look really good, and you can manage it for 90 minutes before you collapse again, and that might work. That might work. And if she had used Biden, she had used Michelle Obama, she had used Janet Napolitano, she had used and just like a day or two before the debate, she'd unload with the big man. With the president.
He was there. He had a rally for her today.
Yeah. Well, if she would use him that way, suddenly you've got everybody focused, and it would drive Trump crazy Because what is he going to say? Little Mario and Lion Tail?
Or send Rudy Giuliani out there again?
Yeah.
He's
Oh, man,
definitely
Rudy-
losing his mind.
Well, not only that, yeah, you're right. He really is. And I did a show about, 3 weeks ago, and it was right after one of the many incidents, and Giuliani was there. And I swear to you, I was amazed because we were on the cover of Newsweek together many years ago, top 2 mayors in the country. And he seemed at that time to be with it. But now he seems to go in and out. I mean, it was amazing. As I chatted with him, I kind of felt sorry for him.
Well, Giuliani is the go-to apologizer for Trump, and he's the guy who says no, he's not going to apologize for that. He's going to double down on that, and
he'd prosecute Hillary and all that other stuff.
yeah.
Oh, no, he's leading the prosecutory process
Yeah.
involving Hillary. What I don't understand, though, is they're not using the governor of New Jersey very
No,
much.
Christie, no.
Christie,
I don't know
they're
why.
not using him literally at all. And I don't know if it's his choice or their choice. I assume that they have made the deal. They've given the attorney generalship away 2 or 3 times. You know,
It's
which is kinda
Giuliani's
the way-
now.
Yeah, which is the way Trump operates. I bet you.
Yeah, I bet he
Promises
did.
one
I
and
bet
then
he's
promises the other.
given away 3 or 4 times.
I
the way he
think that's
operates.
how he kept Kasich in the race. That he promised Kasich the vice presidency and then just threw it away. You know, just said no. I changed my mind. You know, because it's the only thing that explains why Kasich, who had no shot, and he wouldn't allow it to come down to Trump and Cruz, and that was the only way to stop Trump at that point, was to let the Cruz people get behind him. And Kasich would not get out with no shot, no reason to stay in at all. And I think he was promised something, and then Trump reneged.
And then when Kasich said he was angry about it, Trump threatened to come in there and spend $1 million to defeat him.
Oh,
You know, he said in your re-election bid, you open your mouth one more time, and I'll spend $1 million or more.
he won't though. He doesn't have a
Oh,
million
no,
bucks.
no, not at all. No, it might be rubles, though.
Yeah.
That's always that possibility.
It's Russian money. You know, that's been floated by the same doctor who did found the disease that football players got from all the concussions. He's floated the idea that it was just Russian disease that Hillary was, infected somehow, which is not beyond the realm of possibility because it's happened to foreign leaders that Putin didn't like before.
And it happened a week after she opened up her plane. Remember, she opened up her plane to the press, and she had the big plane.
You know, the Russian company owned that plane. The previous owner of that plane was a Russian company.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know if it's I'm just saying it's a possibility. I wouldn't put it because Trump and Putin together. These people are not the most, shall we say, ethical. Standards that they will do anything to achieve their goal.
People don't remember who Putin is. They don't know that right before the Soviet Union fell, he was running the KGB. That's like people just see him as the leader of Russia. He's been in so long that nobody knows
Well,
what his
he was out
background
for a
is.
brief period of time,
Yes, very brief.
He had a substitute.
Handpicked.
Yeah, that
Medvedev.
Handpicks,
Medvedev.
Medvedev.
Yeah.
Da.
and he's still there. He's got the old job that Putin had.
Yeah, they have
Whatever those titles
Yeah,
are,
they
they
got
switch.
the president and prime minister. They got
That's
that
right.
thing, and they mix it up. Yeah.
They move it around, and he's in that role now. Except nobody has had an occasion to see.
I never
since
was
he
able to
left.
figure that out.
Well, you mean what
Prime
happens with
Minister of Britain is like the big guy, and the president doesn't do it. And then France has a president, but they also have a prime minister. But the president is the important one. Prime Minister covers the domestic.
No,
I
like the English way.
I did.
You got a prime
King.
Thank you. You got it.
All right, Donald King Trump. That could happen. We're here at the Will and Willie Show at the Marsh Theater, and in our next segment, we'll be joined by Kelly DeSaint. He writes I Drive San Francisco for the San Francisco Examiner, and we'll also have a special guest in the Q&A, Hillary Crosby, who's the controller of the California State Democratic Party. Right here with the music right now, America is still the place, and we'll be right back.